November. The start of the fall. Christmas is coming. Just a nice time. Hello guys, here it's Emmanuel from Stuga. I hope that you guys are well, full of health. And today, like you saw in the title, I'm going to talk about my top games played in October. I know that we are already in the second week of November, but yeah, I did this video already a week ago, but I'm still going through the camera settings and understanding about everything like audio and so on. So I'm really a huge noob on all of this, and I didn't really like the result of the previous video, so that's why I'm making a new one. Hopefully this one will be better. Just a heads up, the list that I'm going to talk today is not my top favorite games, but the games that I was able to bring more often to the table. I'm going to try to do this every single month, and by the end of the year I'll make a top whatever, top 10 or top 5. I don't know how many games I would be able to play during the year, hopefully more than 10. But that will happen in the end of the year. That's where I will do this top 10. Just because I love this kind of lists, so I'm going to do that. And I always wanted to do that. And today we are going to have 6 games. I know it's not perfect, it's not a top 5, a top 10, it's a top 6. And that's all the games that I played up until now, and at least this month, and so that's what it's going to be. So the number 1 is not my favorite game of all, and my number 6 is not my least favorite game of the list. It has nothing to do with liking it or not, it has to do with how many times I put it on the table. So, without further ado, let's jump into the number 6 of the list. Number 6 of the list is a 2 to 4 players. It's a game from Dinosaur. They launched a Kickstarter this year to come with a second game of the same genre. And this is, I mean, you guys already know, Dinosaur Island. Dinosaur Island is, for me, I mean, you even have the DNA guy in here, so this is Jurassic Park. They simply didn't get the license for it, but this is Jurassic Park. I mean, you put on Melodize the soundtrack of Jurassic Park and you feel immersed. I mean, you are looking at the game like and thinking about the movie. It's Jurassic Park, but they call it the Dinosaur Island. This is a worker placement game, and you are going to be building your park. So the reason that this is low on my list, number 6, is that this game takes a lot of time to put it on the table. Up until now, I only played also only once, but the time that I played, I was able to go through the rulebook and play an entire session, and that took me around, let's say 3 hours. I think it was more or less that, and I played it solo. I like the game. I think 2-3 players might be really good, but the game might take longer to finish. Solo, I felt that the game finished too early. Because the mechanism for you to play solo, it's different. You need to draft some cards, and then you are going through the different phases, and yeah, I just felt that I finished the game before I was able to have a nice park. You know, I only had 3 dinosaurs in my park, and so I felt that it was quite short. But beautiful game. The art on this game, to be honest with you, I didn't even see any playthrough of the game. Just the box was enough for me to give my money for it, and after I played, and it was really cool. This is a game that I'm still need to replay and play cooperatively, trying to convince my girlfriend if she wants to play. She is into dinosaurs, so probably she will. And yes, I mean, it has different phases. You have, I think, 4 phases in this, or 3 phases, and each phase you can do one different task, okay? And so that's how you are going to advance through the time and be able to get dinosaurs, upgrade your security, upgrade your different DNAs and stuff. And so yeah, really cool. The components are really good quality. I just feel that I'm not able to close the box properly, but it barely fits, but it fits. And it's yeah, just go ahead and try it. This is marked on the box age 8+. It has nothing bad on this game, nothing that will traumatize your kids. So go ahead and give it a try. This is Dinosaur Island on number 6. Number 5 is the game that opened my eyes for a new world into board gaming. It's a game that I already talked in my previous videos, and it's a game with my favorite thematic, which is Lord of the Rings, and this is Lord of the Rings Journeys in the Middle-earth. This is a game from 1 to 5 players, published by Fantasy Flight Games, and it's just great. I love this game. I played it already 5 times since I got it. This month, unfortunately, I was not able to put it on the table as much as I wanted. I played it, not this month, in the month of October. I played it twice and I wanted to play more, but there is just too much games for me to try that I am not able to play it every single weekend, which is when I mostly play my games. It's Friday night, Saturday night when the kids are asleep. This game is adventure game, a campaign game. So you have a big campaign, and then every play session is a mission within that campaign. You have different heroes, not the main ones, but not all the main ones, but you have Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Bilbo, and you have others that they don't appear in the movie, probably they appear in the book. And you have also some enemies. The miniatures are super good quality. I really like the miniatures. The art on the cards, amazing. I fell in love also with the art in the box. It's really cool. And this is an app integrated game, so you need an app to play the game. I'm not super excited about games that are assisted by apps, because a lot of them you can just play the game in the app and not use the components of the board game. But in this one, you kinda need it, because if it's not the app, the app needs to be replaced by a person, and that person will be really bored by doing everything that the app does, which is telling you where you need to put the map tiles, where you need to put the search tokens, where you need to put the people tokens, and so on. So the app is really helpful on that aspect, and besides that, it has music, so you really feel immersed on that world, which is Middle-earth, and just great. So they have a couple of expansions that came out, There is actually 4 expansions for now. 2 bigger expansions that are quite expensive, around 80 and 70 euros. In one of them you can get Gandalf, so definitely I'm going to get that one, because Gandalf is my favorite character of all time. And you have 2 smaller ones that come with more miniatures and some cards. So I would give a try if you love or like Lord of the Rings. This is definitely a board game for you to get. But if you are turned on by the app, then maybe skip to the next one. This is number 5, Lord of the Rings Journeys in the Middle-earth. My number 4 is a game that when I saw people talking about it, and when I watched the playthrough of that game, I was not really convinced. It was just, I didn't feel connected with it. But then there was the company that makes that game launched a new project on GameFound, and I just saw like all the components and all the story and everything, and I was just like, I need to try this game. At least I need to try this game. I was still not convinced with the GameFound, but I needed to give it a try. Because it's a quite expensive game, 130 euros that I paid, and yeah, it holds its value, so I could probably sell it with by similar price, but it's quite a big investment for a game that you are not sure if you are going to like. But so I wanted to try it, I paid it, I received it, and that game is Too Many Bones. Too Many Bones is a game from 1 to 4 players from Chip Theory Games. I'm going to lower it a little bit because otherwise the microphone doesn't capture my sound. I'll hold it like this, and it's just great. It's true what everybody says. I mean, this is a game with dice and poker chips. If you don't like if you don't like dice or poker, just don't buy this game because you'll be rolling a lot of dice. What I like about this game is that in other games, when you roll the dice, if you don't get that specific range of numbers, you lose that dice. In this case, when you don't get an attack or a defense, you get a bone, and that bone works as, for example, in some video games, like the one that comes to my mind is Devil May Cry. When you start doing your combos, killing enemies, you have this demon meter that starts to charging up, and when you get to that to the maximum, you can press a button and transform yourself, get super powerful, and just get rid of a bunch of enemies. In here, it works similarly with the bones. You start charging the bones, and then in the end, you can use it already in the middle by doing different tasks that are related to your gearlock skills, sorry, not tasks. But you can hold it until the end, and when you get to the end, you go to a next level. So, besides that, I love the components. Components are premium. This is probably the best board game, the board game with the best components that I have, but you pay for it. So your cards do not have, but you pay for it. But everything fits in the box. There is no need for extra inserts or anything. So you really feel that you spend your money, but it's worth. Basically, you are going to be controlling 1 or 2 gearlocks. It depends if you play solo or cooperate or with more people. You are going to control gearlocks, and you are going on an adventure. You'll be drafting a tyrant card in the beginning of the game, which is the big boss of your play session, and you are going on your path until you get to that tyrant and defeat him. On your path, you will find other baddies, and you'll have some really tough combats with those baddies, so you really need to make good choices on what you decide to upgrade or not. I 150% recommend this game. This is such a good game. It will be definitely in my top 5 or top 10 games of the year because I just love it so much. This is for now the best game in my collection. And so this is number 4, Too Many Bones. Give it a try. My number 3 is a game that has a thematic that I also like, which is exploration. My favorite video games are games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, and so games that you explore and you find treasures and so on. And this game really gave me that feeling. No, it's not Lost Ruins of Arnak. I still didn't play that game. I know I need to play it, but I still need to go through the rule book. This is a smaller game, and this is The Lost Expedition. The Lost Expedition is a game that can be played from 1 to 5 games. It's a game from Osprey Games, not sure I'm pronouncing it properly. And it's a card drafting game, so you have a bunch of cards in here. It's super easy to set up. You just need to open it and remove the rule book, and it's ready to go. So this is the fastest game that I am able to put on the table at this moment. You will be placing 9 cards, depending on how many people play this game with you, but you'll be placing 9 cards that are the map, and you'll have 2 phases while you advance the map. So you'll have the day and the night, and for every phase of the day, so day or night, you'll be drafting 6 cards, which represent your encounters. So some of them are good, give you more food, more ammunition, more health. Others are deadly. So you can really literally lose two of your explorers with a draft of one card. This is my number 3 because I am able to place it on the table when I am with my daughters and I just need to keep an eye on them and not really need to focus on the game, because this game I draft the cards and I know in which phase I am, so I don't really need to be completely immersed on the game. But up until now I only played solo and I lost every single game. If you go on Board Games Geek, this game has a way of 1.87 I think. I lost every single game that I played this solo, and I played it on the easiest variant. So probably I'm doing something wrong or I'm really bad, which probably the second option is the only one that is true. But overall, I really like the game. I like the art on the cards. They give kind of a Tintin vibe, you know. I don't know if Tintin is pronounced the same way in every single country, but I like the art, I like the gameplay, so I totally recommend The Lost Expedition. Go ahead and give it a try. My number 2 is a game, again, I think I love a lot of games due to their thematic, because up until now only Too Many Bones was not really themed, but all the others are themed games, so I think I'm a sucker in terms of theme games. The next one is a theme that the month of October is well known for. The TVs, all of them pass the trilogy of that theme, and this is Back to the Future Dice Through Time. Back to the Future is a theme that, it's the movie, I watch it every single year. I love everything about it. I kinda wish that they would make a remake, but in the other hand, I also wish that they wouldn't, you know what I mean? But let's talk about the game and not about the movie. This is a 1 to 4 players. They don't say you can play solo, but you can play solo if you control 2 player sheets. This is a game from Ravensburger, and it's a pick and delivery game. So what you'll be doing in this game, you have the different years. So you have 1885, 1955, 1985 and 2015, and so those 4 years are in your board, and you'll be going through back and forth those years so that you are able to find items that belong to another year. So what happens is you pick up a card. That card indicates that in a certain place in 1885 there is an item there. You need to go there with your DeLorean. You get there, you do the task that you need to do, which you'll do it by rolling dice. And when you are able to remove those cards from that placement, you take one of that item and you see where that item belongs. And when your goal is to return that item back to the year it belongs. Otherwise, there is problems in the space-time continuum. Yeah, this was a bit of an imitation of Dr. Brown, but yeah, I know I suck at this, but I had to try, you know. So you also have Biff on the game. There is no Marty or Dr. Brown. You feel their presence, but they are not here. But Biff is there, and actually it doesn't contribute a lot. The reason that this game is in second, it's just because it's super easy to explain. It's a perfect game for people that never played board games, also to explain them, and you put it in the table in no time. In 5 minutes you are ready to go. Everything, it has a simple insert, but that works, and it's just because of its easiness of putting on the table. Nonetheless, I recommend. There's another one that is Back to the Future, Back in Time, I think it's like that. It was released at the same time, I think more or less at the same time as this one, so that was weird, and a lot of people make confusion between the two games. I ordered the other one, but it still doesn't have on stock. I'm still waiting for it so that I can compare the two of them. But you can already find comparisons in Dice Tower. Tom Vassell already did a comparison between the two, although you'll have plenty of videos about that. So maybe it's pointless for me to do that when someone does it better than me. Nonetheless, I totally recommend, if you play this game, go ahead and put on Melodice or on Spotify the soundtrack of Back to the Future. That way you will feel completely immersed on the game. And this is a kid-friendly game, so go ahead and play with your kids. They will surely love it. This is number 2, Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. And finally, number 1. Number 1 is also a game with a theme that I like. It's a horror game because Halloween, and I just like to play games that remind me of the season that I'm in. And so October is the time of Halloween, and that I was in the mood for horror movies and for board games related to that theme. And so that game is Horrified. Horrified is another game from Ravensburger. You can play from 1 to 5 players. You can play it solo. Doesn't last long. It takes around 30 to 40 minutes to finish the session. It's so nice. I just love playing this game. Until now I didn't play all the monsters, so you come with 7 monsters, I think. You have Dracula, the creature from Black Lagoon, Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and there is the Mummy. So you have 7. And up until now I only played with Dracula, with the creature from Black Lagoon, which is recommended for your first scenario for the first time, and I also played with Frankenstein and the Bride. And so all of the monsters have different mechanisms. They are completely asymmetric, and what you have is that you need to first do a certain task, and after you accomplish that task you need to do a second one, that is the battle with the monster. In order to do those tasks, you'll have to collect items throughout the town, and it might happen also that sometimes when you are drafting cards, it tells you to place some villagers in the town. And those villagers, you need to save them and take them to their safe house in order for the monsters not to kill them. This is a pick and delivery game, and the pick and delivery is because you need to go and pick items, you need to go and pick villagers and take them to their safe house. Besides that, you have also the card drafting mechanism, so you'll be drafting monster cards, and those are the cards that are going to tell you how the monster behaves. So this was number 1, Horrified. Go ahead and give it a try. That's it, guys. This was my top 6 this month. Next month might be top 7, and the next month might be top 10. And this, I'll be doing this every month with the top games that I was able to play that month. And by the end of the year again, I'm going to be making a list of my favorite ones. So in that list, it will be really about which one is my favorite, and not about which one I was able to put on the table more often. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some good insights about what you should go ahead and try. Leave a like if you like this video. Leave a comment below to tell me what is that I can do as an improvement on the channel. Don't forget to follow if you want. Follow me also on Instagram and on TikTok. I post there quite often also. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I see you the next time.